Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's been a little while. Prophetic Ronin. Just wanted to share something that Lord kind of dropped in my spirit during study. Over this last season, or seasons, I should say, over a period of a few years, I started to notice that for myself, as well as a few other prophets that I know, have been sent to a lot of different churches. And a lot of us not really well known, not really well recognized if we were known as prophets, but for whatever reason, the Lord has sent a lot of his prophets to visit many churches over the last several years. And I didn't understand what the purpose of that was at the time. And until I came across this scripture, and the Lord gave me quite a little bit of clarity when it came to the meaning and the translation of this scripture. Um, I'm going to read a little bit of an article. Well, first, before I go into that, I have to say that the prophets that have been visiting these churches, many of them that haven't been known or recognized by a lot of pastors, they haven't been treated very well. The experiences haven't been that great. They've usually been downcast, ignored, outcast. If there was a word to come forth, usually that word wasn't really given a lot of seriousness. And so, now, unfortunately, given whatever it was that was planted, if you planted unto righteousness, then this next season you're going to reap a lot of righteousness to come. If you planted seeds that were sown in seeds in soil of malice, deceit, manipulation, self-serving selfishness, other things like that, but you call yourself a leader of God's church, you're also going to reap a harvest this coming season. So don't be surprised if you start seeing another round of exposure similar to how we did when 2020 took place. It's about to take place again. You're probably going to see a few churches that are destroyed in the process. But it's only because the Lord sent his prophets. They were ignored. They sent words to pastors, preachers, leaders of churches, and they chose to ignore the word because they didn't take it seriously. So I want to read this article. And just to give you some insight as to how this is actually biblical, I didn't understand it until after that season had passed. Uh, could entertaining angels actually mean welcoming God's messengers? When we read Hebrews 13:2, it says, "Do not forget to entertain strangers, for by doing so, you have unwittingly entertained angels." Most of us picture supernatural beings when we hear the word angels, but this passage could have another meaning. Let's explore the Greek language for deeper understanding. The word translated as angels in this passage, or angeloi, which simply means messengers. In the Bible, this word is used in many different ways. While it does often refer to heavenly beings or supernatural beings directly sent from God, it can also describe human messengers. In fact, the same Greek word is used to refer to prophets, apostles, uh, and other individuals delivering messages from God. This opens up a compelling possibility, which Hebrews 13:2 speaks of angels. It could be referring to human messengers of God, prophets, ministers, or other chosen servants, rather than supernatural beings that we usually imagine. Could it be that the writer of Hebrews is reminding us to be hospitable to strangers, as some of those strangers could be God's chosen messengers in human form? And I can tell you that is absolutely what has taken place. Unfortunately, the treatment of many of God's prophets, God's messengers, sent to these various different churches in previous seasons hasn't been very hospitable. It's been, in many times, very unloving, very cold, not very warm, not very welcoming, not very Christ like, to be frankly honest with you, because they didn't come in splendor. They didn't come with the appearance of having a lot of money all the time, but they came in a very humble kind of way. And a lot of pastors, I'm sorry to say, have failed. So when you see the judgment coming, understand why. When you start asking God, what is going on? What happened? Have I not served you? Remember, it says this in scriptures. In the last day, it'll have be many people that say, Lord, did we not? Did we not do all these things in your name? Have we not casted out demons? Have we not prayed for the sick? And he says, depart from me, for I know you not. Remember, the treatment of God's prophets may seem like a little thing because sometimes they will come humbly, but God takes the treatment of his prophets very, very seriously. So take this as a word of warning, as a word of things to forthcome. Understand that it's not God's desire, nor the prophet of a true prophet of the Lord's desire to see anyone come unto destruction, but rather that you humble yourself, you bend the knee, and you recognize the Most High God as God of all, and that you realize that this is never about you. This was always about the kingdom. All right, y'all. That's all I got. Prophetic Bronin. We'll see y'all next time.